This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
And I'm Bill Bryant. Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. Glad you're along on Thursday, March 3rd.
Now at 6 a.m., Senator Marco Rubio canceled his event in Lexington. That's just days ahead of Kentucky's Republican caucus.
Also this morning, a husband and wife are arrested. They're accused of setting a Lexington house on fire. We're live with some new details about why police say they did it.
A mother talks about losing her daughter to drugs as the Central Kentucky community struggles with a spike in overdoses.
And some light snow showing up on our Defender Radar Network this morning, showing up here at Central and parts of eastern Kentucky. That with temperatures around the freezing mark. We'll track that for a little while longer, and then some rain later today. I'll have it all coming up.
And we'll see you then.
Right now we're reaching out to Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio's campaign this morning. That's because the Florida senator has canceled his scheduled stop in Kentucky. It's not going to happen.
And a lot of questions about this one. His decision to cancel Friday's campaign event on the eve of the caucus in Kentucky, which is going to be on Saturday, is leading to lots of speculation about what he may be doing. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with more on how this important week in presidential politics is shaping up. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Marco Rubio would have been stopping here at the Lexington Center tomorrow morning for a rally. As you mentioned, we have been reaching out to his campaign, trying to figure out why he called off his only stop in Kentucky, but so far we have not received an answer. Now, we have seen stops from Donald Trump and Dr. Ben Carson as we are getting closer and closer to this Kentucky caucus, and now Senator Ted Cruz's campaign is coming to make their first pitch to Kentucky voters ahead of the Saturday caucus. Rafael Cruz will be stumping for his son in both Bowling Green and Louisville tonight and tomorrow. Here's what we know about his tentative agenda. Tonight, he will be at a rally for evangelical Christians in Louisville, and then tomorrow morning he will meet with those leaders there for a roundtable discussion. He is also planning to speak at a dinner in Bowling Green tomorrow evening. Now, it has been decades since there has been a caucus in Kentucky, so many voters may not be as familiar with where to vote and when to vote. Coming up in the next half hour of our news here on WKYT, we'll break down that important information for you ahead of the Saturday caucus. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
We'll see what happens. Thanks so much, Mark. A man was seriously injured when police say he set himself on fire along a busy Lexington street. It happened last night at the intersection of Richmond Road and Fontaine. The fire department says Fire Major Joe Madden was in the area and rushed to help the man along with other witnesses. Firefighters say Madden suffered burns to his hand and face. The other man was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
New this morning, a husband and wife accused of setting a Lexington house on fire have been arrested. And digging through their arrest citations overnight, we've learned what police think the couple's motivation may have been. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live with that. She's here now to explain. Good morning, Michelle.
Yeah, we now know why investigators say this husband and wife duo set the house on fire last May. According to court documents, the reasoning: insurance purposes. The documents state that Angel and China Benitez were coordinating with China's mother, the owner of the home on East 2nd Street that was set on fire. The documents say that someone came forward and told police they overheard the three discussing burning the house down for insurance purposes, and that he was promised a shopping spree if he'd set the home on fire. Police say the couple moved the furniture out of the home and replaced it with broken pieces to make it seem like the mother-in-law and younger son were living in the home at the time. Now, multiple witnesses provided statements to police in these documents. Witnesses told police they saw the two moving furniture in and out of the house prior to the fire, and one said they saw Angel banging on the home and fence with a hammer the day before the fire was set. Now, the two will be arraigned in court here at the Fayette County Courthouse later today. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, Michelle, thank you. And a man accused of robbing a woman in a church parking lot is back in Lexington to face a judge. Robert Schultz and Harvey Smith were arrested last month. Police say the men pulled a knife on a woman outside a church along Winchester Road and stole her purse. They were then arrested after a police chase through Scott and Grant counties. Schultz is now in the Fayette County Detention Center and will be arraigned on a robbery charge in Lexington this afternoon.
Lexington police are looking for a driver who nearly killed a man in a hit and run. Sunday morning's crash happened on La Flame Alley off East 7th Street near Winchester Road. Someone found the victim lying in the road. Police say he was rushed to the hospital with significant head injuries. With no witnesses coming forward, police are appealing to the public for information about the case. People in Garrett County say they're concerned about a growing number of drug overdose deaths. On Monday, Lancaster police say they noticed or responded to 3 suspected overdoses. 2 of the people died. The Garrett County coroner says there may have been 4 suspected heroin deaths in the county this year. That's actually the number he says, 4. There were 0 last year. Trish Caudill says her 22-year-old daughter, Jenna, died Monday from a suspected overdose.
We sent her to Best Blessings Rehab. Her sister here, she done everything possible trying to help her. And it's not the rich, it's not the poor.
Well, the Garrett County coroner says the state medical examiner's office receives about 6 or 7 overdose cases a week.
Our time is coming up on 6:06 on WKYT. And new this morning, a stolen ATM was found dumped in a Laurel County creek. The sheriff's office says deputies pulled the machine from Robinson Creek. There you see a picture. They did not say where the ATM was stolen from, and they're still looking for the people who stole it.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Tracking some flakes of snow flying through the air out there for you this morning, but that's really about it. Showers come into play later today. Just not one of those wild weather days for you today, unlike what we have seen here recently. Oh, here we go. Let's track the headlines here as we move forward. A few flakes flying this morning. That's it. Rain later today, and you can see it kind of in the background starting to show up a little more here in Lexington, but very warm air is coming your way and everybody's way across Kentucky as we get into the weekend and especially into next week. Here's what it looks like out there right now with some snow starting to filter its way into the area. Very light, as I mentioned, 33 degrees in Lexington, so we've just gone above the freezing mark. 32 Richmond, Danville, 31 down the road into London, around the London-Corbin area, coming in around the freezing mark as well. Here's what our Defender Radar Network has been showing us past a little bit. Snow on radar. A lot of this doesn't reach the ground, though. That's the catch with this. We've got a little bit of pocket of some drier air, but it takes a little while to get this mixing in order for it to reach the ground. Now, again, a few flakes are certainly possible, and eventually some full-blown snow showers after it's been doing it for a while, at least on radar. There you track some of the snow along the Hal Rogers Parkway as well. All part of a much larger system that has plenty of rain with it as well. Look at this, just heavier rounds of showers, possibly even some thunderstorms, I'd say, embedded with that. We're just not seeing the lightning because it's a little farther out. We don't have all the lightning turned on because it just would overload the system when you start talking about some of those large-scale events. But showers are already out into western Kentucky. Here's our hour by hour, picking up on that little band of snow there, and then a few more snow showers possible through mid-morning and into the afternoon hours. Here's this evening. It's got that colder pocket trying its best to hang around. I think by this point we push most of it out of the area. We're talking about just plain old rain by the evening hours today. Here's what we have in our 7-day forecast. Got the rain and snow out there this morning. Okay, then Friday into Saturday, we start to warm up a little bit more, mid and upper 40s to around 50 degrees as we go rolling into the weekend. That's when we're going to see the first taste of a decent air mass. But next week, though, Bill, that's going to be when we're off to the races, 70 around here. That is fantastic. Now, some of us are in the upper 60s, but 70 looked a whole lot better, you know?
I understand. Bump it all you can, right?
We try our best, yeah.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Jim. Our time is coming up on 6:09 every morning right here. We bring you weather and traffic together. Hey, let's go out to Officer Don and check on what's happening on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, it's a little more quiet this morning with no problems on the Circle or the Interstate. In fact, 75 north and southbound past the 110, everything is back to normal. Let's get a look outside right now at our overall pictures as far as traffic flow is concerned. On the inner and outer loops of the Circle, we're looking good. Slowdowns inbound Richmond Road approaching New Circle. We can see that. That is that left turn lane to the inner loop that we're dealing with there. And, of course, construction in that area a little bit later. Now, as far as our drive times are concerned, for now we're all holding our own with no trouble coming in from Nicholasville. It's about 12 minutes, 16 from Georgetown, 22 from Paris, and 31 across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you so much. much, and he'll be keeping us informed as we go through our newscast this morning and into the morning rush. 6:09 is the time on WKYT this morning.
Well, 2 years after a Boeing 777 vanished, there may be new clues in the search for missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370.
Slowing Trump's momentum, leading Republicans try to derail the GOP frontrunner's path to the party's nomination. I'm Don Champion at the CBS Broadcast Center with the latest from the campaign trail coming up.
Welcome back. It's 6:13 this morning. Donald Trump is squaring off against Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich at the 11th GOP debate in Detroit tonight.
After picking up 7 states on Super Tuesday, the billionaire frontrunner has been fending off attacks from Mitt Romney and other Republican rivals. Don Champion has the latest now from the campaign trail.
Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is locked in another battle, this time against Mitt Romney, who is expected to blast the billionaire during a speech on the state of the GOP race today.
I want universal coverage.
Trump posted this video to his Facebook page Wednesday night, questioning Romney's conservative credentials. So far, Romney has attacked Trump over his refusal to release tax returns and failure to immediately disavow KKK leader David Duke. In an open letter, more than 50 prominent Republicans also challenged Trump, but it could backfire.
There's no guarantee. Attacks from the establishment could very well make Trump stronger.
So that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate competition?
In tonight's debate, Marco Rubio is expected to step up attacks on Trump, especially over his newly released health care plan that includes repealing Obamacare.
If we choose Donald Trump as our nominee, we will lose in November.
Coming off 2 wins on Super Tuesday, Ted Cruz urged other candidates to drop out of the race.
If you've been supporting Ben Carson or John Kasich or Marco Rubio, all good, honorable men, we welcome you on our team.
Carson withdrew from tonight's debate following the results of Super Tuesday. The retired neurosurgeon says he sees no path forward to the nomination. Don Champion, CBS News.
And we're just now getting some hints about what Mitt Romney may say later this morning. There's been prepared remarks have been released, and Romney will apparently tell Republican voters that Donald Trump is, quote, a phony. Also expected to say today that Trump's campaign promises are as worthless as a degree from Trump University. Those are prepared remarks that apparently Mitt Romney will be making later this morning. Republican voters in Louisiana, Kansas, Maine, and here in Kentucky will weigh in on the race on Saturday. Now, on the Democratic side, voters in Louisiana, Kansas, and Nebraska also head to caucus either for Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders on this Saturday.
Well, an Egyptian student is facing deportation from the U.S. after posting on Facebook that he was willing to kill Donald Trump and the world would thank him. The 23-year-old says the post was stupid and he regrets doing it. He also says he wrote it because he was angered by Trump's comments on Muslims. He was arrested by immigration authorities last month at the Los Angeles area flight school he attended. His deportation hearing is tomorrow. Australian officials say debris from that missing Malaysian airliner Flight 370 may have turned up in a spot that matches investigators' theories. The debris was discovered over the weekend on the shores of Mozambique. A U.S. official says photos appear to show part of the tail section of a Boeing 777. The plane disappeared 2 years ago with 239 people on board, and it is the only known missing Boeing 777.
Time this morning is 6:17 on WKYT, and astronaut Scott Kelly is back home in Texas after spending nearly a year in space. Dr. Jill Biden, Vice President Joe Biden's wife, as well as Kelly's identical twin brother and former astronaut Mark Kelly, were among those there to greet him as he arrived in Houston early today. Kelly touched down in Kazakhstan Tuesday night after having spent more time in space than any other American. Well, it was like a scene from the Wild West. A New York City police horse ran wild down the street in Times Square. The NYPD mounted unit horse named Gunny threw off an officer and bolted down the street last night. Police say Gunny was spooked by a loud noise on 48th Street. Gunny ran into a parking garage, and that's where the mounted unit keeps its horses during breaks. Guess we knew where to go. The horse was not loose for very long. 3 vehicles were damaged, though, during the horse's wild run.
Interesting. The time now is 6:18. The top U.S. airlines wants a piece of the Cuban travel market. American, Delta, JetBlue, and others submitted applications to the U.S. government to fly scheduled flights to Cuba. They're vying for just a handful of slots. Most are looking to fly between Havana and Miami, but some of the proposed flights leave from Boston, New York, L.A., and Denver. The country's biggest tech companies are throwing their support behind Apple in its battle with the FBI. The New York Times reports Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Snapchat, Yahoo among the companies expected to file briefs today that would back Apple. It's fighting a judge's order to break into the iPhone of one of the San Bernardino shooters. Chick-fil-A is offering customers a challenge and a treat. Stay off your phones while you eat and you'll get free ice cream. The promotion is available at more than 150 locally owned Chick-fil-A locations across the country. The company says the goal is to reduce distractions during mealtime. Pizza is coming home, but it's not delivery. Pizza ovens are the new hot item for upscale kitchens. GE showed its new monogram pizza oven at the recent Kitchen and Bath Industry Show in Las Vegas. The electric pizza maker fits into the space of a standard 30-inch wall oven, but it takes plenty of pepperoni to put this gizmo in your home. It lists for $10,000. So a nice little upgrade there for you.
I was going to say, pricey for sure,
Yeah.
but a lot of folks probably would enjoy having that in their home. Time this morning is 6:19, and WKYT this morning is just getting started on your Thursday. There are some new rules for smokers looking to fly. Find out why e-cigarettes are being banned on airplanes.
And we're tracking a few flakes of snow out there now. Eventually, we'll make a transition over to cold showers. We'll have it all coming up for you.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. We've just hit 6:23 on your Thursday.
Yeah, well, it's an exciting time in politics, and just days ahead of Kentucky's GOP caucus, Senator Marco Rubio has actually canceled his event that was planned in Lexington.
It was set for tomorrow, and that's what's trending at this hour. The presidential candidate was scheduled to attend a rally tomorrow morning. We have been reaching out to Rubio's campaign this morning to try to find out why he won't now be stumping in the Bluegrass State. He has also canceled another Friday campaign event in Louisiana.
Lexington Fire Major Joe Madden is recovering from burns to his hand and face after firefighters say he jumped into action when he saw a man on fire. Police say that man set himself on fire intentionally yesterday on Richmond Road. The man suffered serious burns.
Investigators have arrested a Lexington couple in an arson case. Police say the husband and wife staged last year's house fire on East 2nd Street in order to collect money from an insurance company. Both suspects will be arraigned this afternoon. Quick check of the weather. It's going to be a little cold here for a day or two, and then much better. Here's meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, some really nice stuff coming our way. It just takes a little while to get there. Tracking flakes of snow out there this morning in some spots, but generally this push of snow shower activity is moving through the area, and we're going into more of a calmer zone in spots at least before we'll make the transition over to just plain old rain. Just some showers likely working in. Let's take you hour by hour through the day today, and you can see what it looks like with those flakes still kind of flying around 10 o'clock here this morning. Is another little shot of that moisture will likely push into the area. But watch what happens here as we make a transition in between about 10 to about 1. You can see the rain also starting to mix in as well as temperatures are shooting into the upper 30s, low 40 kind of range, just depending on your location. As we get to right around sunset this evening, you see the showers are still with us at that point. Very light amounts of rainfall because this isn't a significant system for us at least, because most of the showers and even some thunderstorms will stay south of our area. We'll wrap everything up though as we get toward the end of the nighttime period here as winds start to die down. You see the temperature staying steady there even into the early morning tomorrow. And we might have somewhere in our area tomorrow morning, guys, at least a few flakes of snow could try to fly through the air. Again, just a few before that big push towards 70 degrees next week.
All right. We certainly look forward to that. Put up with a flake or two of snow in the
Yeah,
meantime,
we'll deal
right?
with that.
Yeah. 6:25 is the time, and e-cigarettes are no longer allowed on commercial flights.
The Transportation Department made the final ruling. It wants to clarify any confusion about what smoking means. Electronic cigarettes fall under the same restrictions as tobacco cigarettes. Past studies have shown that e-cigarettes contain harmful chemicals. The Transportation Department says it's trying to limit passengers' exposure to those chemicals. Well, he chases birds and animals off the runways for a living at one Michigan airport.
Now, Piper, a 7-year-old border collie, is an internet superstar. Here's why. Nearly 4 million people have clicked on a video of Piper the border collie. He's being called the coolest dog ever thanks to his outfit. Look at that. You can actually spot Piper decked out in goggles, earmuffs, and a safety vest. The dog's owner says border collies are working dogs, and they have a job that makes Piper very happy there, it looks like.
The point is that he chases off the birds and things that would get in the way of the planes.
Keeps wildlife off the runway. Right,
I gotcha.
Yeah. Looks like he does a good job.
Good working dog.
Goes to work in the snow as well, right?
Cute.
Keep it here on WKYT this morning. We're back with so much more. Our top stories ahead.
We have an update on Lexington Centerpoint project, what developer Deadly Webb says he's planning to do.
Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot, $144 million. And Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $40 million. We're back in a moment here on WKYT This Morning.